questions?
I thought, our 4 and 5 guys, the difference was, when you look at, the paint, right, the paint points and getting the ball inside, that's what we needed to do. And we did that, I thought, those first 5 minutes of that third quarter. We were able to play a lot of guys, a lot of minutes tonight again, so, we got two big games down in West Palm, 2 really good opportunities, and 2 top 50 RPI games, net games, whatever you call them. So, looking forward to that. Sydney, we kept Sydney out tonight, so we're hoping to have her back for West Virginia and Ole Miss. Hopefully, we'll see if we can get her back. But if not, we gotta continue to defend and rebound and do a great job sharing the basketball. That's when we're good at stuff.
Just how does win number 400 feel? What is it? Is it just kind of like all the other major milestones in your career?
That's what I told the guys. I mean, the guys in that locker room, especially this team, it's a veteran team. We return a lot of guys, and you can see how much they care about one another. The only reason you get to 400 is, and me doing it 21 years, is year 22. Is you got some pretty good people that have coached with you. That's number one, and we've had some really good basketball players. So, and we do on this team. So, I know when you look at that number, right? It's a lot. It's a lot of wins, and it's a lot of different teams and a lot of different preparations and games. But I couldn't. You don't get this number by yourself. You get it with coaching great players, recruiting great players, developing the players, preparing for games. And I've had some really good staffs all these years.
I think I asked you this after your 350th 2 seasons ago. The context of that year, with all the injuries that year, when you look at the context of 400 and you look at the context of some of the others, it's obviously drastically different. What are you gonna take from this night, remember about this night, in comparison to some of those others?
Well, now, I mean, you win 100 games, and now we've been able to do it in 4 years, right? Maybe 4.5. It took me, I don't know how many games to win 100, because those first 3 years were really tough when we took over. And I think year four was the first postseason year. We won NIT, NCAA tournament year 6. So, to hit this number with those first 5-6 years with everything we went through was difficult, but that's what you do building a program. But now, I mean, it's expected if we don't win 20 games, we don't go to the NCAA tournament, or we're not in the top 25, we've had a bad season. But we've built this program to that, right? And that's the way that we schedule. So it's I don't know how much longer I'm going to coach, but I'm like I said it when I hit 300. I'm going to continue to do this till I'm not enjoying it anymore. I enjoy coaching this team. They give me a lot of headaches and some sleepless nights, but I said, I challenge them, and I'm hard on them for a reason, because this team has the ability to play well into March and hopefully April. If we got to stay healthy and we got to continue to get better, but we show them that we can play with anybody in the country. Now, we got 3 more games in 2021, and then 2022 starts the most important part of the year, and that's January, February. But right now, I'm still enjoying what I'm doing. Probably I got to still coach because my wife spends a lot of money. So, I don't know. I guess I'll keep doing it.
Coach, you mentioned the first few years were pretty tough for you when you took over the job. And
now to see where the university is, where you are, where the program is, and I know Jeff Scott's kind of talked about the alignment between, you know, the president, the board of trustees, just on down. Have you felt that from, you know, from the Muma Center of how everything is kind of aligning for athletics at USF right now?
Yeah, I mean, we got a great practice facility, and we got a great arena we're playing. The Muma Center has been around now for 8-9 years. It needs some TLC, and it needs some improvements as well. And I'm sure that'll be coming along soon. But, you know, I know as myself, I reach out to Jeff. I'm very excited for him and the staff that and the recruiting class that they put together. You know, everybody talks about conference realignment and this and that. You know, football drives the bus. Football drives the train at all major Division I universities. You know. So, I know, speaking for myself, we all need to support Coach Scott and his staff, because we need them to win. We need to do everything we can to get that practice facility finished and on time, so he can continue to recruit the players he's recruiting. And it's great to hear that we're moving forward to get camp. I've been here 22 years, right? This has been the so-called commuter school, right? And that's why we have so many apartments and around campus, right? More people live off campus and around campus than we have student housing. So I think an on-campus stadium would just be amazing. From not only to get the community involved, but our student body involved, but also from a revenue standpoint. Every time you play a football game over there, you don't make money on concessions, you don't make money on parking, you gotta pay to open the doors and all the other things that come around. In non-conference games, you got some guaranteed games. So before you even open the building, you're in a big hole. So when that changes. So, Brian, I know Brian's working his tail off to get men's basketball where he wants it to get to. He had some turnovers. They got a lot of new guys that he's trying to piece together and them learning the roles. So when the next conference realignment, let me tell you right now, they're not taking Houston, Cincinnati, and UCF for women's basketball, right? How long was Connecticut won how many national championships when they were in the Big East and Connecticut wasn't taken to a so-called Power 5 school? This isn't a women's basketball league, right? Now, we're going to pride ourselves in having one of the best women's basketball programs in the entire country, and that's going to continue to happen. But, there's so many things as far as market and football and men's basketball and all the other stuff that come into play. So, but I think with Michael's leadership and the support of our board of trustees, and Will Weatherford, Mike Griffin, I mean, I've never seen the amount of synergy that we have here now from upper level administration, our athletic director, and the board of trustees. And when you have that synergy, there's going to be positive change. So we're moving in the right direction.
Moving, I guess, to tonight, with Sydney out, first quarter was a little disjointed for you guys offensively. We kind of found it a little bit with Maria hitting a couple shots, kind of breaking out of her slump there. How important was it for her to kind of break out of that and get a jolt off the bench from her?
Yeah, and let me tell you right now, I said this to her in front of the team. She was eventually going to get out of it. Was it going to be tonight, the next 2 games, conference, or next year? She was going to come out of it. And, I'm glad we welcomed her back to the party, and she helped us tonight, knock some shots down, because I know, as a basketball player, when you're a shooter, the ball doesn't go in the hole, and then it culminates to all other issues, right? But I think, the one thing the ball didn't go in the hole for her, but she didn't break down in defensive coverages or in the scout. So we're going to need her. I mean, she was 6th man of the year for a reason. We're going to need her to knock down shots, because she knocks down shots. Now it's going to open up Shay and Dulcie and Betty inside, right? so.
And you know, speaking on towards the inside game, I know Betty had those 2 threes, but aside from that, you get most of your points in the paint from Dulcie and Betty tonight. Just, you know, when
Yeah,
you
they
look
scored
at that.
35 points, the Betty's played 24 minutes, and Dulcie played 22. So, but when we get the ball to where it needs to get to, whether it's inside or what we run offensively, good things happen. When we try and get out of the stuff that our system and do other things, we're not a good basketball team. We're not.
We good? Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Coach.
We have Maria and Betty.
See you guys tomorrow.